everybody, it's Emily from Pages and Ink, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and watching it. It really means so much to me when people watch my videos and often leave comments down below, but it's totally okay if you don't. I won't hate you at all. So, welcome. Today, I will be doing two videos for you guys. This is the first of them, and it's going to be my most anticipated reads of 2017, which, by the way, welcome 2017. We anticipate and kind of fear you because 2016 was just like ouch. So hopefully it'll be a lot better to us. The second video I'm going to be doing is a update slash bookshelf tour. This is a good example of why I need to do that. By update I mean I'm going to take every book off my shelf and then put it back and make it look nice, including all of my little knickknacks like my masquerade mask that just fell because it's not where it should be. Mainly because my bookshelves are a very big mess. So, and one more thing before I get into this video is that my Goodreads reading challenge goal for this year is 70 books. Last year it was 50, and I think by the end of the year I read 69, so I was like one away from 70. So hopefully I can hit that 70 this year. But now we should start with the most anticipated reads of 2017. So I'm going to start with 10, work my way up to 1, because that's often how these most lists are, like the top whatevers is usually from 10 to 1 or 5 to 1, so anyway. If you are new to my channel, I ramble, I'm sorry. Anyway, number 10 is The Crown's Fate by, it's right here, and I know the name, Evelyn, Skye. Sorry, it just flew away as soon as I was about to say it. This is the first book, and I believe a duology, which is the Crown's Game series. I believe that's the name of the series. The second book is The Crown's Fate, and if I knew how to put pictures, and I don't think I can do it with this, I've tried it, I would put the cover like right on top of it. The Crown's Fate. The reason why this one is at number 10 was because I was so excited for this last year, and when I read it, it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't really all that satisfying. Like, I was expecting the finale movie for Wizards of the Waverly Place where they have their like wizard battle, and instead I got something completely different. But I enjoyed it enough that I want to know what the next book has in store. Hopefully it will be one of those things where like the first book was okay, but the second book was like, this makes sense, this pulls everything together and just makes it so much better. Here's hoping. Number 9, I don't have the prequel for because I believe it's a new book. I don't know if it's standalone or part of a series. I forgot to write it down. But it's The Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. I hope I said that right. And it's released February 28th. By the way, this is May 16th. The next book. And this book, from what I understand, is about, obviously, the daughter of a pirate king, but she's a pirate captain, and she gets captured, or, like, there's a mutiny, and her first mate, or a first mate, I just remember saying first mate, has kept her prisoner, and she's on the search for this map. That's basically what I got from the Barnes & Noble, summary. But it looked really, interesting, and I have not read many books about pirates, but I do really enjoy like the Pirates Caribbean movies, and I was kind of expecting Wayfarer, Passenger to be kind of like a time-traveling pirate scenario, and it wasn't. So I'm hoping that this will be pretty good. I'm excited for it. The next one, number 8, speaking of Wayfarer, is the next book for Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, who's one of my favorite authors, but this book was kind of a flat for me. Hopefully Wayfarer will help me feel better about the series, much with The Crown's Fate. This book has, the sequel for this book, sorry, has already been released. It was released January 3rd, and I still have not got it. I need to go buy it. But yeah, so. The covers are pretty, though. This one has a ship in a bottle. Actually, it's not a ship in a bottle. Just kidding. It's a bottle that you would expect to have a ship in it, but it's a city. And the Wayfarer one is like a biome with a tree, but it's like broken and it's birds. It's pretty. Number Number 7 is Flame in the Mist, which is a new book that's going to be out May 16th by Renee, Ahdieh, which is about a girl who is kind of matched with... I'm trying to remember because I read them. But basically it's a story where a girl goes undercover disguised as a boy because there's a target on her back and she wants to figure out who put it there and why and try to take them down. So she infiltrates the gang that is trying to kill her to try to figure all that out. And she gets close to the leader, I believe, and his best friend. And of course all sorts of shenanigans happen, but I really do tend to enjoy books where the character is disguised as, or like anything, where a female character is disguised as a boy and is around boys and nobody can tell, because just to me it's really entertaining. Like one of my favorite movies is she goes to school disguised as her brother, and nobody I really enjoy, which is called Hanakimi, where the main character goes to an all-boys school in Japan so she can get close to her idol, and both of those I just enjoyed the heck out of them, so I'm hoping that Flame in the Mist is going to be pretty entertaining and really good. Next, I have Perfect, which is the sequel for Flawed, which I got in my Owl Crate and absolutely loved it. It was so good, so I'm really excited for Perfect, and I believe this is also a duology. And Perfect is the second book, and that releases April 4th. This series is a dystopian world where if you do something that is considered flawed in society, you're branded with an F, and anybody who helps you or shows you really any kindness in a way are branded flawed as well. So the main character is put in a situation where she ends up standing up for a flawed person and ends up flawed herself, which turns her whole world upside down because she was always considered perfect, which is interesting because it's the title of the second book. And she they try to get her to say that it was all the flawed guy's fault, that she didn't do anything really, she just happened to be there, wrong place, wrong time, and she's like, that's not right, I can't do that. So it's a really good story, and I think you guys should read it. The next one on my list is Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which has a beautiful cover, and I totally don't remember what it's about at the moment, but when I saw it I was like, gotta have it. It's also on my to-be-bought list that I have created that is actually mostly filled out. I really need to find new books to read because most of these, it's literally the only books I could find were these 10. Moving on. That releases January 31st, so I can have my hands on it very, very soon, and I'm actually really excited for it. On to the next one. Number 4 is Our Dark Duet, which is a sequel to The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. And this book is really cool. It's a really dark world where the city is divided into two, and the main characters are from each side, so one is from one side, one's from the other, and one of them happens to be this dark creature that kind of inhabits the city, and there's like this really cool like nursery rhyme song thing that's been said throughout the book that kind of shows like the different monsters, and I've read it in my top 10 reads of 2016, so I'm not going to read it this time. If you want to hear it, check it out. But this was really good. It was much better than I was expecting it to be, and I can't wait for Our Dark Duet, which releases June 13th, according to my notes. The third book is King's Cage, which is the third book in the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, and that releases February 7th. I have not read Glass Sword yet. I do need to do that. I think I will wait until I have King's Cage and then, you know, slay that series, read them all at the same time. Well, not the same time, but you get the point. Because I'm that kind of person where if I don't read things after I read the first one, I have to reread the series because I forget so many things, and I've tried to not do that, to just read the next book when I got my hands on it, and I forgot everything that happened in the books before, and it just wasn't a good situation. It kind of made the book all that much more difficult for me to read. So I gotta do that. But But if you don't know anything at all about Red Queen, it's like a dystopian fantasy type world where there are two types of people. There are Silverblood, which are more royal and they have these magic powers, and the Red Bloods, which are pretty much the common people, but the main character, Mare Barrow, ends up having red blood, but she somehow has powers. So she's kind of drawn into the royal family, kind of as like they pretend that she is this long lost ancestor for this prominent family that had been extinct, like they had all been killed off or something. And it's to hide the fact that she is not royal at all and somehow has power, because they don't want the Red Bloods thinking, oh hey, we can have powers too, so we can be more powerful than you, or we can have the same amount of power. It's a really good book. I do need to read Glass Sword. Number 2, we don't have a title for yet. We need a title very, very soon. But it is the 6th book, the final book, the last book, the heartbreaking end book to Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which releases September 5th. And I am not ready. I'm not ready for this one or for the number 1 book, because both of them mark the end of a fantastic series, or the 2 fantastic series that I love so much, and it's just going to, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna hurt. But if you don't know anything about Throne of Glass, it follows Selena Sardothian, who is pretty much the number 1 assassin in the kingdom, or really in all of Aurelia, which is the world. Or the continent, at least, I believe. Pretty sure it's the world, because there's different kingdoms in the continent. So there's Ahdieh, and she's known as Ahdieh's assassin. And at the beginning of the book, she's pulled from a salt mine to be part of the king's champion competition, where she can pretty much earn her freedom, but she has to do the dirty work for a man that she hates, first of all. And there's a whole lot of different things that happen throughout the series. There's princesses involved, and of course princes and captains of the guards and these witches, and they ride wyverns at some point in time, and so there's magic and mystery and puzzles that she has to solve. We don't solve them, she does, so that's kind of a downer, but you know, this isn't Endgame or whatever that one book series is where there's like this massive puzzle buried in the book, and anybody who like figures it out gets money or something. But it's really good, and I'm gonna cry. It'll be very, very sad. Moving on. So the last book in the series, in the list, is the 3rd book, the final book, the end book, the end game book for A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is also by Sarah J. Maas. What can I say? She's fantastic. Everything I have read by her, I need the next thing, like right after. I need to know what she's doing afterwards, because this can't be the end for Sarah J. Maas. She's got to have more in her. She's a fantastic writer. She's definitely grown as a writer since the 1st book, which I believe is actually Throne of Glass, was her debut novel. And it was so good, and this was so good, and the series is so good. Although I do have to warn you, this series has quite a bit of like erotica in it, so if you're uncomfortable by that, either don't read it, which I don't necessarily want to suggest because they're really good, or try to avoid it as you're reading. You can kind of get the gist like as soon, like right before it happens, so you can just flip a couple pages and just hope that it's over by then. You won't miss too much, I don't think. It's just, you know. Because these books are actually considered new adult, which is like 18 to 24, I believe, in age range, versus YA, which is more like teen books. But I loved them. They're fantastic. They're just so good. And the last book is Court of Wings and Ruin, which I know I didn't say, and I'm gonna say it now. Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the last book, and it releases May 2nd, and I am not ready. I am not ready. Oh boy. Anyway, that was my 10 most anticipated reads of 2017. What are your most anticipated reads? And if you have any suggestions for me, actually, for books to read this year, let me know. I'm not going to guarantee that I'll read them because I'm a mood reader and I have to be really interested in order to really read them because I'm a sad person that way. But I love all you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon with my update bookshelf video, which is going to be pretty difficult because my bed is in between my two shelves and it's like 4 feet off the ground. You can't really tell, but sitting down I'm just barely taller than it. There's like a couple inches here. So I'm gonna have to like flip over my bed. I might do one shelf and then the other shelf, but the problem with that is going to be that I'm gonna have to try to gauge, because I do it by alphabet and not just in an order, so I have to gauge like where the next shelf will finish to start on the next one. So it's gonna be pretty interesting, but I'm gonna give it my best shot so you guys can see. Or I could just do one of the 2 shelves and then show you completed. I don't know. I will figure it out. But thank you guys so much. I love you. Mwah. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2017 so far and that it treats you so much better than 2016 treated you. And I'll see you all very soon. I love you.